What's going on? Daniel, Mr. Cuervo Racing here. Got a video for you today about comparison and exhaust. So we got a 2015 SE. It's got a FCI intake, power commander without ignition, and it has a GYTR by FMF exhaust. So this is a common exhaust system that you'll get at the dealer with your new bike. A lot of guys are buying the exhaust system straight from the dealers, and we're going to do a comparison between it and a Monster exhaust system. So this bike here does have a bored throttle body on it, as well as a hot cam stage 3. So good little mild bolt-on build, really popular. I've already tuned this bike in, but as it is with this exhaust. So we got, let's see, it was showing temperature a second ago. But either way, bike's warmed up. 190 some degrees. So I am going to do a pull. Let's see the number that shows up, and we'll take a pause and change the exhaust, and then do another pull after some tuning, and kind of you guys can hear the difference, see the difference on the dyno sheet, see the difference in run length on the pull. So all right, I'm going to set you up right here. Let's see, there we go. Gonna get noisy here for a second. All right, so we got 56 horsepower, 46 foot-pounds of torque, peak power at 7,300 RPM. Peak torque is right here at 55 and a half. So I'm gonna change this exhaust. I'll show you this exhaust, and we'll do another pull. Alright, so I got the exhaust off, got the Monster out of the package. So you can see direct comparison between the, there we go, direct comparison between the two size-wise on header diameter. Pretty big difference between the two. The Monster comes into the mid pipe. This is a 2.5, as well as the core 2.5. And the FMF is fairly small. I didn't measure it, but that looks about 2 inch. So Pretty big difference there. This one's already showing some rust. Kind of surprising. The monsters are all aluminum and stainless, so even on the raw ones, there's going to be no rust issues. They do come with heat shields. I'm not going to put them on at the moment, but I'll leave that up to the customer to decide when I talk to him. But let me get this installed, and we'll get it tuned in and do a pull and show you what it makes. Alright, so we're back at it, and we got the monster exhausts installed. This is the full-length can, or full-length muffler. Basically, end of your plastics right about there. After the plastic, say 1/4 inch or so, something like that, to the very tail. So this is a standard length muffler. Let's fire it up. I already tuned it in. Know what it's gonna make already, but just to show you guys. All right, here we go. Alright, so here's what we got. So we went from 56.4 up to 59, just over 59. And the torque, we lost just a little bit of peak torque. And in this range right here, about 5,500 RPM. But we gained torque all the way through. That's 3 foot-pounds right there. So we're seeing a little bit of loss here on peak torque number, which is right in this low mid 50 to 55 range. It's a little rich there. Maybe some tuning can bring that back up, but either way, for big visual is all this power from, say, this point here, about 6,700 RPM. You start seeing a huge increase in power. Where there's 2, that peak is 2.5 to 3, but you start getting up here in the upper RPM range, and like right there's almost 6. So you gain a lot more power, a lot more torque up in this mid-high range to really pull out the top end and start utilizing any modifications that you're making. So in performance and parts, there's always trade-off here or there, give and get, but overall this is the normal power range that you're going to use, from 5 to 85. If you're out racing or anything, you're not really going to touch anywhere lower than 65 normally, 6,000. So this is all a real big gain, just in the difference of one exhaust to another. So in general, this bike's a few years old. It is a little bit down in power. Normally we'd be looking at 61 on this combo. This does have the airbox on it, and it is a 15, so it's got a few years on it compared to being a brand new fresh motor. As well as it doesn't have the ignition control, which greatly helps this area right here, this little bit of a flat area or a dip. That'll come in if you have ignition control and we do ignition mapping on it. It's a nice bump in power through this range. So got a fighter jet flying over. So that's it for today. We really like the Monster exhaust. That's what we sell and use, and dyno results show a pretty big difference there, even on a very lightly modified bike. So we will catch you on the next one, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, so you can catch these videos on a regular basis. Thanks, guys. Bye.